So I gotta admit this right out of the bat, this chapter might be a little controversial for everyone. Because there are certain elements of this chapter which are quite nice, but other than that, this chapter might actually feel very dry for everyone, and therefore I cannot say that this chapter is going to be a very good experience for everyone. So it's okay, it's fine if you did not like this chapter, but for me personally, I enjoyed this despite the obvious flaws, and oh boy, the flaws are actually quite a lot. And the most important point here is, at least in my opinion, is that this chapter is very dry. Like, what the hell happened to the world building? Where is Sasuke? What is Kashin Koji doing at this moment? Where the hell is he even present at this particular moment in time? And what happened to Orochimaru? I mean, probably one of my biggest disappointments with the series so far. Why is Orochimaru not involved in this equation when he could have helped Konoha in so many different ways? Why is Naruto, or anyone for that matter, not even approaching Orochimaru? So this is basically a wasted potential, and yet again this chapter deals with only Boruto and Kawaki with some sprinkled in stuff from the other characters, and that is the basic meat of this chapter. But either way, hello and welcome to Undevisey, and thank you so much for joining in. In this video we're gonna talk about Boruto chapter 62. But before that, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to our channel, since I do weekly anime and manga related content along with a bunch of other stuff. With that being said, let's begin the video. Now, to be very frank with you all, not a lot actually happened in this particular chapter, but in comparison to say something like chapter 60, I felt like this chapter was not actually boring because of the Kawaki vs Code fight. And let's say that most of this chapter, at least half of this chapter, is actually dedicated to that proper fight. And I gotta give props here because the paneling, the shading and the overall layout is actually very good. The fight choreography is handled very well here, and the overall fighting style of Code is slowly gaining a touch upon me, and I'm just happy with how the overall finished product actually looks. But the chapter basically begins with Boruto, who is still talking to the shadow clone of Kawaki, and he's trying to inquire what the hell is actually going on here. Why did Kawaki leave the village on his very own accord? Because Boruto is still somewhat able to trace Kawaki, but it is flickering and it is going away very soon, and he is able to understand that he has definitely left the boundaries of the village. And that's why he goes out to check with Nishi, the other sensory department ninja who is making a surveillance outside the Uzumaki home. Now this paneling right here, I was kind of not expecting it. I mean, it's just standard, a ninja is keeping a watch, but this is just like a direct visual reference or visual allegory to the panel of Itachi, the iconic panel of Itachi from the Uchiha Massacre days. I mean, obviously these are totally different characters. He's most likely a fodder character who is not going to be that important into the overall series, but his exact paneling here resembled the Itachi panel, and I guess this was just a visual reference or sort of an Easter egg or a mention here. But either way, he says that no, Kawaki's chakra is perfectly fine, he's still inside the household. So therefore Boruto concludes that no one is actually able to detect this thing other than himself, and this is most likely a feature of the Otsutsuki DNA which is building up inside of them. And after a while he goes out to Hinata and Naruto to tell the entire situation. Obviously Naruto is a little bit hesitant at first because he himself was not able to detect any abnormalities here. He also goes out to ask the other shinobi if he felt any abnormalities here, but again all of them are saying the very same thing here, that there is no difference in chakra. Kawaki's chakra is still perfectly present inside the Uzumaki household, which we know is actually not true. But soon enough the mystery is blown away because Kawaki realizes, or the actual body of Kawaki realizes, that the shadow clone is no longer needed because Boruto has told everyone about the truth, and therefore the shadow clone disperses, and that's how the other shinobi and Naruto finally get to realize that okay, this was not actually Kawaki who was sitting on the couch, but this was a shadow clone. Naruto immediately talks to the Hokage office via the connection link made by Ino, and again props to Ino here. She's probably one of the most valuable assets for Konoha at this moment, and she's just making all of these different communications so much easier. We also get Amado, who is obviously scoffing at Shikamaru and just making fun of them. Not exactly fun of them, but he's just like being sarcastic as to how did you guys do something like this where Kawaki was able to slip beyond your eyes. But the most important point which is raised here is that they need to look after Kawaki. Ino immediately tries to notify the sensory department which are under her, but to no avail because Boruto says that his chakra is something which you cannot track. it's most likely an Otsutsuki feature where he's able to switch off his chakra in a way or suppress his chakra in a way, and the only person who is currently able to detect him for that matter is only Boruto because of his own Otsutsuki DNA, and therefore he devises a brilliant plan here. And this is 100% the character growth for the character of Boruto, because had it been the starting of the series, he would have directly just jumped and ran to save Kawaki, or at least try to save Kawaki without any thoughts whatsoever. But here this Boruto is different. This Boruto has grown and matured a lot, and he realizes that the sensory department can obviously track his chakra, and therefore it would be safe enough to go and pursue after Kawaki, because he's the only person who is able to track Kawaki at this particular moment. But the time and the window is fading very quickly, so he needs to act upon immediately. He therefore puts on his shinobi clothes and he borrows Sasuke's headband once again. You know where this is leading, obviously. Very soon we are about to hit that particular moment, because Boruto after this particular chapter is about to face off against Code, and I feel like Boruto is finally going to get his car at this moment right now. I don't think that this is something which he gets after the time skip. In the 4 years leading up to it, I feel like he gets it right now, and that's why his karma has sort of matured around it. On the other hand, while all of this is happening, Kawaki is obviously pursuing after trying to find Code, but on the other hand, we get to see Code, who was actually pursuing after Kawaki after the instructions from Ada. Now, interestingly enough, Ada's right sclera is actually black here. It's most likely an effect of her using the clairvoyance, which is properly described here. So that's really interesting in my opinion, and we probably need to talk about that later on. But the rest of the chapter is essentially Kawaki versus Code. I'm not gonna go over panel by panel here because it's not really that important. It's very beautiful, visually it's very beautiful and striking, but I'm not gonna go over every single one of them. But what I'm going to say here, or what I'm going to explain here, is that the modus operandi of Code is finally explained here, and he says that he's going to exterminate every single one of them, starting with Naruto and Sasuke, the people who dared to kill the god whom he worshipped in the form of Ishiki Otsutsuki. But that's not all, because he's planning to bring about the divine tree and harvest the chakra fruit, and because of this, every single person on this planet is going to be exterminated, and that's the truth. That's the truth of the Otsutsuki clan. And the only way to survive this is going to a separate plane of existence, a separate dimension, a separate planet, and I feel like that's a very big foreshadow. I have a video coming about this very soon where I'm going to explain why this directly ties up to Teen Kawaki from the time skip, and why exactly he says that I sent the 7th Hokage somewhere. Stay tuned for that, subscribe to the channel, because that is going to be very necessary and important. But here we get to see once again some very important character development from the character of Kawaki as well, because contrary to the popular belief, he's not actually trying to fight Code here, but rather he gets on his knees. He literally gets on his knees and pleads to Code that please kill me and spare off Naruto and Sasuke. Please just take my life instead of all of these others, because it is my responsibility. It was after all my duties. If I had not ran away from Gaara, all of these things should not have actually happened, so kill me instead of them. But obviously Code is bound by the, you could say, treaty of Ada, because he cannot really kill Kawaki at this particular moment in time. However, he beats the crap out of Kawaki. Like, the beatdown is very brutal. And in the last moment, in the very last moment, he was about to use his claws to teleport back to their hideout, but just then, in the nick of time, Boruto comes in with the save and he absolutely smacks Code in the face, and that is the reason why Kawaki is finally freed now. So this is a very reminiscent panel of his father as well. That is when Naruto kicked Delta, and I feel like this is a similar allegory here. But this is everything which basically happens in Boruto chapter 62. I'm gonna make follow-up videos to all of these things because there's a lot of things which we need to talk about. So be sure to subscribe to the channel and stay up to date with all of those latest contents. With that being said, guys, thank you so much for joining in. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Did you like this chapter or did you hate this chapter? Please let me know your thoughts and views in the comment section below. See you all on the next one.